You know there's something wrong if I'm using a Barrett with an ACOG scope. And you know I want to make people mad because everyone hates me on Xbox. Everyone. There's never a good game when everyone's like, oh, a good game. No. It's always someone is hating on me. There's always one guy in every lobby. Even if he doesn't have a mic, I will get a message. I will get hated on anyway on this game. Because I'm using the wrong gun, because I'm camping in the corner, because I'm a hacking, I have a modded controller, I have an aimbot. Yeah, I heard all this. All this. But I just have the original. I bought a blue controller. I'm using my blue controller. My blue from Blockbuster. That one that got bankrupt. But anyways, I'm going to tell a story. A nice story. And this story is how I got my ears pierced. You're all wondering, ears pierced? Yeah. Got one of my ears pierced, man. So, we were in Poland. It was like 2 years ago. And then we were in the mall. Just chilling in the mall. And then we went to some store. We went to one store, next store. Nothing else, just like expensive, boring stuff. Nothing really there. Then we went, and then we're like, oh, look at this. Because I was with my mom and everyone. And then went to go look at earrings. I'm looking at earrings. And I'm like, yo, I like these earrings. And they were like some nice diamond ones. They weren't too big. They were just pretty nice. And then they weren't that expensive. They were about like, I'd say 20 in their money, so that's like it was like 35 in their money, so that's like around maybe 15 in ours or something around there. I'm just guessing. And then I'm like, I want to get these, but I didn't have my wallet or anything, and I wasn't allowed to get like my ears pierced, so you know. That one day I asked my cousin, I'm like, let's go and watch a movie, because there's a movie theater in that mall. So I'm like, damn. So we went to go watch a movie. I forget what it was. Oh yeah, it was The Hangover, part 2, the new one that just came out like a year ago. So we went to go see that. Then after that, I'm like, hold on, I gotta go to the bathroom or something. So I went to the bathroom, and then they're like, hold on, we're gonna go to this store. I'm like, perfect, playing this all day. So they went to their store, and I'm like, I'm gonna go sit back down there, look at this store. And they're like, oh, okay, and you have your cell phone on, because they gave me like a cell phone so I don't get lost. 'Cause I get pretty lost. And then, as soon as they went to their store, I booked it. I just went upstairs somewhere, and I just went and found the earrings. Then it was my sister's birthday coming up. So I'm like, I'm not gonna get one earring. So anyways, I got 2. And I got one on each receipt. So I got 2 receipts. And I got the diamond ones, and I got some other ones. And the other ones were like a decoy. I'm like, where'd you go? I went to go buy my sister earrings. So they're like, oh, okay. And they liked it. But I threw out the other receipt, and I had the diamond ones in my pocket. So they didn't know about that. Then when we got home, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. So we got home, and then I was supposed to take a shower. And I'm in the shower for like 15 minutes. And they're like, why is the water still running? I'm like, just coming, 1 sec. Then I tried to shove through my earring through my ear. But in the sad part was, it went through one side, the skin, like it went through like half, and it wouldn't go through the other half because it was too small. And it wasn't even that sharp either, because it's just like an earring that goes through. So then after, I'm like, So I came out, and I had like a little hole. You could, like, if you looked at it, you could see a hole in my ear, like a tiny one. I'm like, oh, this is going to be bad, because I had to go to like a store after. So then after we came back from the store, and no one noticed anything. I tried to hide my ear as much as possible. We got home, and then my grandpa was showing me something on the computer, and I looked over right beside the computer, and there was a needle, just like a 1-inch needle, like a normal sized needle, just laying there, and it was like behind like a plant or something, just like beside it around there, like in the corner. I'm like, oh yeah. So I took that needle and I put it under like a cloth that was there, so they didn't know that they left it. Then it was around 10 o'clock. They're like, okay, we're gonna go to bed, because my grandpa goes to bed at like 9 or something, and everyone else was downstairs, and I was supposed to take a shower. Then after, I took that needle, and then I'm like, okay, let's do this. So I took like all this like alcohol and like cleaned my ear and everything, make it like disinfect. So it was all clean. You guys, it was all clean. It was all clean. I like washed it first, and alcohol in my ear again, alcohol on this, everywhere, fingers. I washed my hands with like alcohol and everything. I had to make sure I was clean, man, fresh to death. Then I took that needle and I stuck it through that hole that I had. And then I'm like, oh, and it wasn't really much pain. You just like, you could feel it in your ear. And then it sucked because when I tried to push the needle through my ear, it was hurting my finger, because you need like lots of pressure to put it through your ear. But it was hurting my finger because that needle's small. So basically it's like going into my finger the other side. I'm like, ah, this hurts. So then somehow I pushed it in there. I'm like, oh, it's almost there. It's almost there. But then I'm like, hold on. I'm gonna take this out a bit. I'm gonna put it in again. And when I took out the needle, something, I don't know, I guess I tried to put the needle back in, and I missed the hole because I made like another hole. It was like kind of going up, and when I put the needle in, it was going straight. So then I'm like, I couldn't get it back in that hole in my ear. So I only get into the first part, and the second part I couldn't. So I had to make a completely new hole. So I put it into the same hole, but then like inside my ear, I put it in somewhere else. So I made a new hole right through my ear, and then I'm like, yes, I made it right through. And it was just like the very back. It was like a tiny, it was like the skin at the very back of your ear, at the bottom, you have the loop. And I'm like, okay, I gotta push through that, and I got it. And then after, I'm like using all my force because it hurt my finger a lot. I'm like, oh, just like pushing it through. It just goes through. I'm like, yo, that's nice. I'm just like looking at my ear. I see like a needle just through my ear. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Pretty cool. It was on my left ear too. And then after, I was gonna take a shower like right after. And then after, I go in the shower, and I look over, and I just see blood, just like dripping down my ear. Just like it was like lots of blood, just like going down my ear, down my neck, and just dripping on the floor. I'm like, oh damn. So I just hopped in the shower. I was in there for like 15 minutes or something. Just like, okay, it was good. Then after, I took out the needle. After it was like 15 minutes, so it kind of like healed up, I guess, inside. It got like hardened, and I took it out quickly, and I put in the new needle. I put in my earring. So I put in the earring, and then you guys have to wait till part 2. Made you guys do that. Okay, so watch my part 2 video.